The importance of lighting design in increasing productivity in the workspace. According to the Health and Safety Executive, more than 500,000 people in the UK experience work-related stress, costing industry about 9.6 billion every year. Workplace stress is certainly not unique to the UK. In fact, there is evidence of increased work-related stress across many developed and developing countries. Increased work stress results in decrease in productivity, which is described by Paul Krugman as the ratio of input to output. In other words, it assesses how efficiently labor and capital are employed to create a given quantity of output. Professor Joe Sylvester of City University London has reported that several studies have shown that the quality of light and lighting design does affect the well-being and hence productivity in the workspace. But what is light? Light is a term used for electromagnetic waves that can be detected by the naked eye. When better lighting is used, performance can be increased by speeding tasks and reducing failure rates. This is in addition to the energy-saving benefits of using better lighting. But then, why and how does light affect productivity? Light influences human physiological and psychological aspects, which in turn affect human performance and productivity. The extent of the impact of light on productivity is debatable. The issue in determining the relationships between illumination and productivity is that multiple other elements influence human performance at the same time. According to Andrea De Pavia, the quality of light affects well-being and productivity in 3 ways. 1. Eye health. Improper lighting can lead to eye damage and decrease in eye health. It can also lead to headaches and uncomfortable situations during work. According to a study published in 2011 in the American Journal of Public Health, exposure to bright, cold, fluorescent lighting increases the risk of developing eye illnesses by 12%. Second, the circadian rhythm.
And one of the most important ones, like it's a huge topic here, is related to our biological clock. It's through light that our entire body synchronizes with the environment. So it's through not only light, but also dark, like the cycles of light and dark. This is really, really important for our entire organism, not just the brain, but like the entire body. And it is through light that we can help our bodies to synchronize with the environment or impair the synchronization depending on how we are using light. How I am designing the lights of my office, I'm not just affecting my employees' well-being or performance when they are working with me in the office, but when they get back home and go to bed, they might also sleep better or worse, depending on the workplace where they spend the day.
Messing up of the circadian rhythm due to improper lighting can also lead to physical effects on the brain and hence a decrease in mental health. Light sends signals via the novel photoreceptor cells and a separate nervous system to our biological clock, which in turn regulates the circadian rhythm daily, and it also affects the hormone levels in the body, which in turn govern how the mind and body works. Cortisol, which is the stress hormone, and melatonin, which is the sleep hormone, regulate alertness and sleep. Cortisol rises the blood sugar levels to provide body energy and boost immunological system. Cortisol levels rise during the day and fall during the night to regulate the energy levels in the body for proper work cycles. And melatonin levels drop when cortisol rises and vice versa to allow good sleep and rest. 3. Natural and artificial light.
This is the best quality light that we can ever have. And there are some other benefits when we are exposed to natural light specifically. Two main things. One is related to serotonin production. It's a substance involved with feeling of happiness and well-being. And when we lack serotonin, this can lead to depression. So when we are working the entire day in a place with no windows or far away from windows, we are not stimulating our brain to produce serotonin. If natural light reaches our retinas, this is what triggers the production of more serotonin. So this is something to be aware of and to pay attention to. If we want people to be creative, we want them to feel happy, because we're more creative when we are happier and better, feeling better. And sunlight is one way to help with that. When it touches our skin, it helps us to produce vitamin D, which is also very important to our health, immune system.
Increasing the amount of exposure to natural light can help in increasing the well-being of the employees and hence increase levels of productivity. Studies of stress levels and complaints in people working indoors have been made by comparing a group of people working under artificial light only with a group of people working under a combination of artificial and daylight. This shows that stress levels decrease when exposed to good amount of natural light. In an office environment, it is necessary to consider the exposure to natural light and hence provide additional windows and openings. Apart from natural light, artificial light also plays a major role in affecting well-being. There are multiple factors to be considered when dealing with artificial light within a working environment. Zuzana Kralikova's diagram illustrates the various characteristics of lighting that interplay when it comes to affecting the human body. Additionally, it demonstrates how these factors affect one's well-being and productivity. There are a few most important factors amongst these, some of which are lux levels and illuminance. Kohler and Waterberg examine the brainwave EEG patterns of individuals in a laboratory set up to imitate an office environment, once with a reasonably high level, that is 1700 lux, and ones with a relatively low level, which is 450 lux. The EEG show a significant variation in their composition. Higher lighting levels result in fewer delta waves. Delta activity is the signal of tiredness in an EEG, showing that bright light has an altering effect on the central nervous system. Color of light. Studies have shown that the color of lighting can have an effect on the person's mood and work performance. Visible light is made up of a spectrum of light of different wavelengths. As the full spectrum of visible light travels through a prism, the wavelengths separate into colors of the rainbow. Violet has the shortest wavelength and red has the longest wavelength. Andrea de Pavia believes that the color temperature of light should ideally resemble that of natural light during the day. The sunlight is predominantly reddish during sunrise and sunset, and mostly bluish at noon. The lighting in the office should be constructed in such a manner that the temperature of light can be adjusted according to the time of the day. Although one experimental study by Moiz and Kurz in 2000 of the effects of lighting, age, and gender on mood and cognitive performance found a gender difference in that younger females experienced positive and negative mood for longer than males, and that older adults showed a negative mood in cool bluish lighting, while younger adults showed a more negative mood in warm reddish light. Glare. There are two kinds of glares which can occur due to artificial light. Direct glare, where the light fixtures do not have proper glare control and can cause loss of concentration and more frequent mistakes, according to the Lighting Handbook by Zumbotel Lighting. An indirect glare caused by reflective surfaces or incorrect lighting or workstation positions can cause fatigue and eye strain. So what can be done to ensure proper lighting and increase productivity in the workspace? One of the most effective solutions is flexible lighting. Job control, defined as the degree to which an individual feels themselves to have influence over how they work, is one of the most key factors in worker well-being and performance. According to Andrea De Pavia, one important way to improve worker control is to give employees the ability to control aspects of their own work environment. And this can be accomplished through individually controlled lighting solutions that allow employees to tailor the lighting environment to their personal needs. Also, different areas within the office with different kinds of lighting can give the employees an opportunity to change their workspace according to the task in hand. Apart from carefully tailoring lighting according to the need of users, there are handbooks and guides available that detail out the lux levels and type of lighting solutions most suitable for the type of area being designed. These have been developed after research and studies and could be referred to while designing the building as well as interiors. Examples of such guides are Zumbotel's The Lighting Handbook or the European Standards for Lighting of Indoor Workspaces. These talk about factors such as the recommended luminance ratios between the task and its immediate surroundings, glare calculations, and reflectance of materials as a part of the lighting system. In conclusion, work-related stress reduces employee productivity, which leads to a loss in economic growth. Employee well-being is influenced by a variety of factors, one of which is light. Because it impacts the physiological and psychological aspects of the human body, appropriate lighting can aid in enhancing well-being and thus productivity. There is no absolute solution for achieving optimum illumination in the workspace, but there are a few key factors to consider. The biological aspect of lighting. Light synchronizes the circadian rhythm and influences the sleep-wake cycle, which has a big influence on people's health and productivity. The importance of natural light and its effects on the well-being of the employees. Adequate lighting for people to carry out their visual tasks and designing to tailor the lighting according to the needs of the people via flexible lighting solutions. And lastly, designing artificial light while keeping in mind factors like illuminance, color temperature, and glare by understanding the way people respond to these.